Hi, everyone, and welcome to Off the Record, the sports podcast of breaking news, hard opinion, and a little bit of gibber. I'm Andrew Webster from The Australian. I'm joined by Phil Rothfield from the Daily Telly. Hi, Buzz.
Hello, Webby. How are you this week?
Oh, I'm all right.
What's your mood like? Out of 10? Are you good? You
4.
Yeah, 4?
Yeah.
That worries me.
Yeah, good.
That dead set worries me.
Going after you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Do your best.
Just hating the world and you. All right, coming up on... I'm kidding. I'm in a chipper mood. Coming up on the show today, Buzz has some breaking news on Peter Volandi's mission to get a massive TV deal for Rugby League. We asked the question, what is actually doing at the Newcastle Knights and does it have a future with Kalyn Ponga in it? And in our War Story segment, we talk about our very first front pages. You'd have a few, wouldn't you?
I've had a few front pages over the years, but my first one was a very interesting one. But I was a copy boy and someone rang the office news tip line. I picked the phone up and, I'll tell you about it.
Later in War Stories.
Yeah, not a sports story, but it was a good going.
Let's also thank our good friends at Code Sports. You can get an annual subscription to Australia's best sports website for, if I can spit it out, $49, featuring Australia's best sports journalism. The Code Sports app is essential for every fan. Head to codesports.com.au/OTR to get the special discount. Champs and Chumps. Champ, what do you got?
My champ is hot off the press. Scott Boland.
Oh.
Hat-trick. West Indies this morning. What were they all out for? 27?
Terrible.
Oh, we spoke about it last week. It's so sad, Webby. Whenever I turn on international sport, I want to see a contest. We've seen 3 just, they've been smashed. But back to Scott Boland. I cannot believe this man, because of how strong we are in the fast bowling department, has played only 14 test matches for Australia. He is a world-class cricketer. He'd be in the starting lineup at any other country in the world. You know what his average is? 16.53.
He's a class act.
But when you got Cummins, when you got the other guys, it's
Hazelwood. Stark just took his
Hazelwood and Stark just played his 100th test.
Yeah.
And I think it'd have to be, we had Lillian Tomo, but I can't recall a better fast bowling 4 ever.
No.
You'd start thinking McGrath, and he would have bowled with Gillespie and, people like that. And look.
I can't actually. Yeah, you're probably right.
Greatest of all time. I'm glad we got him because our batting is shit.
I know. Well, I'll get to
Didn't
that.
Didn't you push for Sam Konstas?
I'll get to you in a minute. And
yes.
Sam Konstas. My champ. Well, listen, mine was going to be Yannick Sinner winning Wimbledon, his 4th Grand Slam.
Why didn't you?
At the age of 23, flipping the result against Carlos Alcaraz. But just before I came, I got an invitation, an email from Philip Heads from Bet News, New South Wales. Invitation, Mr. Andrew Webster and guest. You were quarterly invited to attend day 1 of the Sheffield Shield match between New South Wales and Victoria to sit anywhere in the members' pavilion.
I thought he was going to give you day 3. You've done well.
RSVP by November 9 or just turn up.
Yeah.
Now, Philip.
Yeah.
That's Philip Heads in Rothfield. I am a little bit worried because when I saw it in my inbox, I went, finally, here are my Oasis
tickets.
No, Sheffield
Mate,
Shield.
I did warn you, they seriously had the shits.
Good.
I'm surprised you've got in on day 1 at the Shield.
I'm glad they've seriously got the shits because I had the shits pretty hard over
You're not
some
helping
stuff that went down a few weeks ago.
Anyway.
Sorry for being ethical.
Yeah.
And being a journalist.
Do you want my chump?
Not really, but what is it?
Well, I got an email too from a bloke. And he said to me, he watches NRL 360 every Monday night. He loves the show. He loves my input. He loves my opinions. Listens to other podcasts, this podcast, loves everything I do. But you know what he did then? His next line was? He starts going on about my medical issues. He said, I need to go and see a GP.
Oh, thanks.
Not a regular visit. He suggested it be an hour-long consultation. He said, he lives in a family where there's been a bit of medical drama over the years, and he thinks and I was very,
You don't want to be hearing that.
No, I don't. No.
Well, we got.
I didn't even reply to him. I will say this: now and again on television, I get the shakes. Now and again on television, I sweat. It's bright lights and it's nerves. And I was never built to be a TV commentator. I always found it a lot easier behind the typewriter and the keyboard.
Just sending you poison from behind the keyboard.
Yes.
Mate,
do I look that crook?
No. I love how I reckon you look good. I reckon you're getting better with age.
You reckon?
You seem like you're shrinking. You're like, you know what? I'll lift you up because when I was on 360 last week, one of the young makeup artists said, so what do you do? I said, thanks for reading. I said, I work for the Oz, but I do a podcast with Buzz. And she said, I love Buzz. He's like a cute little dad.
Oh, that's funny. No, there's my chump, Webby.
Who needs an armchair halfback when you've got an armchair doctor?
Medico.
There you go. All right. You know who my chump is? When are all the people who bitched and moaned about Sam Konstas being picked in the Australian first 11 going to eat some humble pie and admit it might have been too early? Scores of 3-5, 25-0, 17-0.
Who are you directing that at?
You.
Are you?
And others. I'm going to look down over my glasses like you. Look, let me just say this. I'm a huge Konstas fan. I just think we got all a little bit ahead of ourselves. You need to play a lot of red ball. It cracks me up that Andrew McDonald, the coach, said last week, the pathway back into the test team is Sheffield Shield cricket. It always has been. If anything, we've ignored it.
Well, you'll be there to watch it. You can,
you know what? You got me.
You should do a podcast from the cricket ground.
I'll pay that. No, leave it there. Leave it there.
No, well, I want to butt in here. You're bagging Konstas. How's Kawaja going over there?
I agree.
The pitches are horrible. No one's scoring runs.
Yeah, I know, but that's
the only guy who's come good is Cameron Green.
Well, he didn't make runs early. He had to come good.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Anything else you want to get off your chest and bag me before we go further with what?
I just lifted you up. I just had the young makeup artist giving you a rap. Yeah. You're a cute little dad.
Yeah.
You heard it here first. Or I'm thinking about renaming this to Buzz's Beat Ups. What do you got, Buzz?
Mate, I'm very happy to sit back and let you break a story for the first time in your life. Hey?
How dare you?
They're not beat ups.
No, I'm kidding, Buzz. There's that glass jaw of yours coming out.
Yeah.
Right. What do you got? No, in all seriousness, no. You wrote. Buzz. You know what I think of you as one of the great newsbreakers in the game. You broke the story this week that Andrew Abdo and Peter V'landys, Batman and Robin, as I like to call them, are currently in the US. Trying to whip up a deal.
They snuck over, mate. I rang a couple of communications people at the NRL, Glenn Jackson and Misha, over the weekend, and they wouldn't tell me where they were, and I don't know what the sequence. Yeah, Misha Zielinski.
I love that name.
Yeah, I like him too as a fella. He's a good bloke. Yeah. Good bloke.
He's a ripper.
Anyway, they didn't want to tell me, but a couple of others said they had left for the United States of America on Friday. They were there to meet Amazon. They were there to meet DAZN and possibly Netflix. Also went to the big soccer final in front of 80,000 people. Chelsea won 3-0. And
with the Don.
Donald Trump was there.
Did they meet Sir Donald?
No, I didn't.
Sir Donald.
Yeah.
The Donald.
No, he didn't. They didn't catch up with him, but they've had a lot of other important meetings over there. The developments here are that they needed competitive tension or commercial tension, whatever the Fin Review use when they do these sort of stories, and they've got it. They've got it. They've got serious interest. DAZN, as you know, paid $3.5 billion for Foxtel, and they can't run a business without rugby league. And the good news is Channel 9 want the lot. So Channel 9 just don't want their 3 games Origin exclusive and the grand final exclusive.
Yeah.
9 have got Stan. They want to show 9 games. in an 18-team competition. Webby.
Yeah.
This is terrific. What it means is the AFL blew us out of the park with the last TV deal. They got $4.5 billion over 7 years, right? I have no doubt whatsoever we'll match and beat that with the interest that's around at the moment.
Yeah, well, that's your mate Volandis needs it.
Well,
he got outbid last time.
Yeah, but
he did.
You keep saying my mate Volandis, right? He is. You know, I've known him for a long period since he was at the Trots. I've known him for 30 years, and I do regard him as a friend. But I've had run-ins with him as well. That deal he did was at the height of COVID, when the world looked like it was about to stop, when sports TV rights, there was no sport on, were on the verge of collapse globally. He did a shit deal.
He did.
Yeah, but we didn't know where the clubs were about to go broke. He had to lock something in. The game was about to stop.
Arguable point. It's an arguable point.
Yeah. He
needs to get a big record deal, and that's his focus.
Well, when this deal comes in, there'll be 9 games instead of 8. But he is under pressure. So's Andrew Abdo from the 17, soon to become 18 clubs to match the AFL. They're armed with unbelievably good Origin ratings. The top 4 shows this year will be Rugby League with the NRL Grand Final. The AFL Grand Final might knock one of them out. It's going to be very interesting few months before they lock up a deal by Christmas.
Can't wait. You know what my only concern is?
What's that?
Is that they're so focused on getting this big bumper deal that they will just hand over so much to the broadcaster. In terms of the draw,
no, they've got to fix
when
the
games
schedule.
Are on.
They've got to fix the.
That's what I mean,
schedule.
Buzz. They need if they want to grow crowds, if they want to fill the stadiums that the taxpayers are paying for, they need to get control of their schedule again. It just cannot be. It cannot be completely beholden to the broadcasters.
If you want $4.5 billion, you've got to give away something.
I understand that, but
not just the product.
No, I get
you
that.
Need their
there needs
partner.
to be a balance there, Buzz, and that's what worries me. That PVL is just going to be.
How can I get you and PVL back together?
He's got my number.
No, I am going to, by the end of the year, I'm going to get you two back.
I will tell you this. I got dudded by him.
No, you've told this story.
I got dudded by him. And
You've told this story.
You,
Settle
and
down.
I know you. If you got dudded like I'd been dudded, you would have given him life.
No, I wouldn't have. I don't give anyone life.
You've given me life a few times.
Gave Gus life. Did you see what Gus has done to me on social media? Just changing the subject. Someone said to him or Chimes asked him on the Chiming In podcast, what do you Chimes said, I want a one-word answer on Peter Volandis. I want a one-word answer on the bunker. I want a one-word answer on Cameron Sorrell. Blah, blah. The last one, Buzz Rothfield. You know what he said?
No.
Clown.
Oh, God.
And anyway, I go to his Twitter feed and someone repeated the question, and Gus runs a picture of a clown. And I'm not very happy with Philip Ronald Gould.
Have you engaged lawyers?
No, because
I tell it was funny because I got name checked on that podcast by Chimes, and he read out.
He bagged your story.
Well, he didn't bag it. He read out a line from it about in which I said that he's a complex human being,
but he denied
obsessed with his place in the world.
Yeah,
and he said, "Oh,
rubbish.
I'm far. That's far from me." Yeah.
You
know what the thing is?
What are you going to do about it?
Most narcissists don't know they're narcissists. That's all I'll say about that. Anyway, if you actually read the story, I did
read the story.
I know. Gus says I don't read anything. He also said on that podcast with Chimes, I don't talk to any journalists. Really? Come on, Gussie. Come on, Gus.
Very, very quietly briefs journalists.
I know. Hey, Buzz, up until I fell out with him, he used to try and brief me all the time.
Yeah.
I dare say the reason why we don't talk is because I wouldn't write what he briefed me on.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's not get into a Gus Gibberfest.
Yeah, what do we do next?
The big story of the week. The big story of the week is the Newcastle Knights are in #crisis. So there's reports that they're about to sack Adam O'Brien as coach, or he won't see out the year, and other talk that they are thinking about releasing Kalyn Ponga, or Kalyn Ponga wants out. What are your thoughts on this? It seems like this is Newcastle's week. Last week it was South.
Yeah.
Before that was the Tigers. Before that, it was.
Yeah, it's funny you say that.
It goes in cycles.
It's funny because I got a text on Sunday and I went to Peter Parr about it, and Peter knew nothing about it. He's the CEO there.
About O'Brien.
About O'Brien getting the arse.
Peter Parr's not the CEO yet, is he?
Well, he's general manager of footy, whatever his title is. But on Monday, he went to Phil Gardner, who runs West Group, the owners, and he said, is anything doing with ads I should know about? And Phil Gardner said to him exactly what you just said. Oh, it's his turn this week. He did. That's what he said. And I had a chat to Adam O'Brien yesterday. He didn't sound all that, fussed, obviously, by the content and the Michael Chalmers story in the Herald.
Well, he's about to get a big payout if they do punt him. So
yeah, 2 years.
Yeah, that's not bad. Not bad.
Look, I feel a bit sorry for Ads after talking to him yesterday. He joined that club on the back of 3 wooden spoons.
Mm-hmm.
He's since played finals 4 or 5 years. I don't think he's a dud coach. They're talking about Blake Green, his assistant, taking over. Bloody Isaac Moses coach.
Also is Adam.
Yeah.
I reckon he would have lost a lot of support when he said what he said about the fans.
The fans, yes.
Yeah, which I have to say,
that was dopey.
I say one, at least he had the balls to get up and apologise the next day, which he did. The second thing is too that I just find it interesting that it seems like Adam O'Brien was central to getting Dylan Brown to the club next year, and also explaining how they would re-engineer their attack and how it was going to work with Fletcher Sharp and Kalyn at the back. So I said this on SEN earlier, late last week. I just feel like he deserves the start of next season to see if it can work with that with Dylan Brown in the team. And if he doesn't, then they're going to have to make a change. Now I know a lot of Knights fans out there would not agree. They want the trigger pulled now. 3 coaches get sacked every year, Webby, and football clubs, as we spoke to Michael Checker about this, and we should tell people his great interview with Check that's going to follow this about the instability and the, in NRL coaching. And look, I probably agree with that. Adam O'Brien deserves another whack, but they're so impatient. Fans are impatient, boards are impatient, executive committees. Mate, I honestly think he's a 9.5 out of 10 likely axing. Before the end of the year?
No, at the end of the year.
At the end of the year, for sure, yeah.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
And
can I say this?
Go on.
Sorry, but it is a club that's got a bit of a stink about it in many ways. And I think there's a lot of angst. So we're going to get to Kalyn in a moment. There's a lot of angst amongst those former Knights players about the Dylan Brown deal, 13 mil over 10. Now you say I can't break yarns, but I've got a bit of mail. I've been told that Parramatta were prepared to let Dylan Brown go to Newcastle early, even telling him that he would be playing New South Wales Cup. He preferred to stay at
Reedy wrote that. Reedy wrote that this morning.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
No, he did, and it's a really interesting point. What happened?
Well, there you go. I'm breaking a story that was already broken.
That was broken 24 hours ago.
Yeah, one of my best.
But what Reedy said, and it was really interesting, that
old Webbo with the news.
Yeah, but before June 30, Jason Rolls sat him down and said, "Look, very nicely, you're a lovely bloke. If you'd like to go to Newcastle, go now, because now Power out of contention. He obviously wants to experiment with his other options to play 5'8". And he started him at hooker last week, but that's only, De Silva will be their hooker for the rest of the year, so he could play New South Wales Cup.
But don't you think it says more that he didn't go?
Yeah, it says a lot.
The opportunity to go there.
Yeah.
And there's just so many questions.
But Kite Pierce-Paul doesn't want to pack up, leave Newcastle, go to the West Tigers. He didn't want to.
But he's not playing.
That was part of the deal.
He's not going to play New South Wales Cup.
True.
And if
you get the Ponga, mate.
But Guy Pearce-Paul isn't about to take a $13 million deal over 10 and be the organising halfback. So,
but the Ponga story is even more fascinating.
Well, let's get into that after I give myself an uppercut for recycling Reedy's.
Yes.
I'll never hear. The little fella won't let me live that down.
No.
I'm gonna have to tell him as soon as we get off. I just try to break your story that you've already broken on off the record. Don't worry, nobody's listening. Kalyn Ponga, start of the year buzz. He looked like a player who had so much resolve about winning a comp. Don't you reckon? You could just tell he was ripe for a premiership. And about a month into the comp, he just looked like a bloke who couldn't be asked.
I know.
That's how it looks to me.
To me, it looked like he was carrying a significant injury.
That's right.
Because he just backed off. First 4 rounds, as you said, he was unstoppable. He was number 1 player in the game almost. Certainly up there with Cleary and Jerome Hughes. Now, my goodness, he's going awful. And he's got the Lisfranchi injury. Is that the word for medical? Lisfranc injury. It's got an E on the end, Lisfranc, doesn't it? That's why I call it Lisfranchi.
I don't think it does.
Oh, didn't it? Google it. I bet you it does.
Okay, let's have a look.
Yeah, but while you're looking, I'll talk about Ponga.
I'll look up Reedy's yarn while I'm here.
Yeah.
Liz Frank.
I bet you it's got an E on the end.
It doesn't.
Oh, doesn't it?
See?
Oh, well,
you don't know everything. Lisfarranc. What's that story?
Well, I can't spell, but at least I can break a story.
Okay.
That's not old. But listen,
don't worry. You've rewritten a few.
Hey, Webby, there's a manager who looks after rugby players called Kent Hale.
That sounds like a rugby
player
manager name.
Yeah,
Kent Hale.
He's New Zealand based.
Yeah,
I think he's taken it upon himself to check Europe, Japan, Super Rugby franchises, and the All Blacks. And I think his plan is to go back to the Ponga family, Andre, who's his agent, and Kalyn, and say, look, there's 1.2, there's 1. Whatever it is, and present that option to them, because while they're under contract to the Newcastle Knights, they actually can't be seen to be involved in this sort of thing. I now, having spoken to some key people in Newcastle, I'm getting an impression that they would be open to freeing up Ponga's salary of $1.5 million.
You know what? And that's exactly lines up with what I'm hearing.
Yes.
To me, that is a massive, massive story.
Massive
your
story.
Captain, your fullback, your $1.4 million a year
glamour player, the most marketable.
But also, like, when they extended him at 22, like, they built that whole team around him. That's why I can't sort of cop this idea that, Newcastle are about to go into a rebuild. You got Kalyn Ponga 1.4 and Dylan Brown on 1.3. Like, you can't be rebuilding when you've got players of that on that much money. You need to be pushing for premierships. That was the whole idea of getting Dylan Brown there, to push for a premiership.
Things change very quickly in rugby league, and no one expected Fletcher Sharp to come on as sharply as he has this year.
I see what you did there.
They haven't, and he's a very, very good fullback. Very good fullback.
Sure. Far
too good to be playing wing, where he established himself in first grade. Could play 5'8", Brown at half. I think.
Would they let him go? Would they let Ponga go to another NRL club?
I doubt it. Because
we know who's keen on him, don't we?
He's know how to play the game. They play it hard but fair.
So I've known this for.
Do you like my Roosters song?
No.
Dally Cherry Evans passes the ball.
Is it better than your Sharkies?
Do you want me to call Cherry Evans to Ponga inside the Nawanganatewizi? Try.
I think Dan Ganane's safe. That had a bit of Frank Hyde in it, the way you said that. I know the Roosters have looked at Kalyn for some time as a potential replacement for Tedesco down the track.
I think Teddy wants to extend. He's under contract for next year and wants to go again.
So it just seems like, but Teddy's going. He reminds me of Cameron Smith. He's getting better with age.
But back to Newcastle, if Ponga goes, Sharp to fullback, Brown to 5'8", they've got $1 million plus to spend on a halfback.
But they're not easy to get, Buzz.
Pizzette, the young half who's playing behind Jerome Hughes.
Would you pay $1 million to Pizzette?
Wouldn't pay $1 million. I'd pay 8.
But can I say this about like getting all these? You need the coaching to bring them through. To make the most of them.
There's a rap on Blake Green. I didn't mention Blake Green.
Yeah, he's the assistant that they're saying.
Yeah. There's a rap on him. There's some goodies available. Willie Peters has coached up there. Josh Hannay. The problem is, with all these clubs looking for a new coach, it's become a race. Like Richo's sitting there at the West Tigers thinking, shit, if I don't move now, I'll miss out on Peters, or I'll miss out on Hannay, or I'll miss out on Brad Arthur. Because the Cowboys are looking, the Titans are looking, the Knights are looking. So
it's a volatile market.
It is. It is. And so I said there'll be 3 sacked. Law of averages says 3 will be sacked.
There might be more this year.
What else you got? What happened to me hosting the show today, by the way?
Because you told me that beforehand you were too tired.
Yeah.
No word of a lie. Buzz said he was too tired
to host. Yeah.
Because it's such a hard slog here, isn't it? Do it in a lunch break.
I reckon I'd do better. I might have a whack next year.
Mate, I said anytime you want to do it.
You say this all the time.
Anytime you want to do it.
Mate, I reckon you'd get shitty.
Your ego makes you.
Well, what I'd do, I'd jump onto YouTube the week I do host, and if I outrate you, I'll keep it the job permanently.
Good as gold.
And then you will have a dummy spit.
No, I won't.
You will.
I'm not a dummy spit.
You're a sook.
I'm not. Please.
Don't drop that F-bomb.
You're looking quite old and rattly over there. That guy's right.
Do you like my Nike top?
Not particularly.
I bought it in Glasgow.
It's a Nike hoodie.
Yeah.
You got Nike stores here. Look at your head.
Come on.
You're a chipper.
Just keep going.
You're a chipper. Buzz, idiot. Can I ask you this? I know you're a massive Rugby Union fan. Can the Lions tour save Australian rugby? It kicks off this week. Suncorp Stadium, the first test. They weren't that particularly flash, the Wallabies against Fiji and Newcastle earlier this month. They're $3.20 outsiders with the bookies for this first test against the Lions.
I haven't watched a full game of Rugby Union for so many years. I can't tell you how long it's been. But with the Lions here, with the Wallabies, with Sua'ali'i, I'm going to watch it.
Yeah.
I'll go and watch the replay. I've got to stay on top of the league and watch every game for the shows we're on, but I'm going to watch it. There's enormous fascination about this tour.
There is.
Just to see if the Wallabies can be competitive.
Now I want the Rugby Union fans out there who just savaged you on our Instagram page about Wallabies, about tickets to the Lions tests. So I just did a little exercise just an hour before we came on air, and I went on to Ticketek to see if the 3 matches were indeed sold out.
Where are they? Brisbane, Sydney, Melbourne? Or Brisbane, Melbourne, Sydney?
That's right. You can get tickets to all 3.
Can you?
You can get tickets to all 3 in the cheapest.
What price?
$149 for the cheapest.
That's not bad.
At all 3 games. So,
but that's not a bad price. I've been working about their price.
No, but remember when you said this in April about the tickets, and it's like supply and demand. It's every 12 years. Buzz, you silly old bastard. You don't know what you're talking about. I'm backing you up here, Buzz.
Yeah.
They're not all 3 are sold out. I think that's relevant.
It's very relevant because, Queensland Suncorp only holds 50 odd. Yep. I can understand the core being a handful left, 85,000.
MCG, but still.
The MCG would always be a tough sell.
It is. In
an AFL
But there's plenty in Melbourne, and it's not sold out at Acor.
It's interesting, isn't it? Why?
Maybe they're a little bit too expensive. Maybe Buzz Rothfield, rah-rah fans, was right.
Yeah. As I said, I don't want to do another rugby pile on today, and I so enjoyed having Czech here.
Yeah.
For his interview.
He was really good.
Fascinating insight into that. And I'll urge all people to listen to it because I really liked his thoughts on what rugby league players would
could cross over, and conversely the other way.
I asked him if he was St George coach, who he'd pinched from rugby to come over, and it was fascinating.
It is. He was he made and he was strong on this too, and it wasn't just lip service. He said that he doesn't think the Wallabies will get lapped in all three games, despite the market. Okay, let's move on to our war stories, Buzz.
Yeah.
So last week we did our first back pages. This week our front pages.
Yeah.
You
I'm going to double up here because I'm going to first of all tell you the first story, Phil Rothfield byline that ever appeared.
You just referred to yourself in the third person?
Yes, I did.
I love it.
By Phil Rothfield was on a Wollongong Greyhound preview on the Illawarra pages of the Sunday Telegraph. Now, what happened? Les Muir, great man.
Great Les.
Came in so hungover on a Friday, he could not find the keys to his typewriter. He said, I'll pay you $10 if you can preview the Wollongong dog meeting. And I did 15, but I still remember the dog's name, a dog called Unpredictable.
Is that right?
But that was my first byline, dog story.
Do you know I got bitten by a greyhound on my first day as a journo?
Oh, really?
In Maitland, yeah. I got out of the car and the greyhound came at me, and the trainer goes, it's not going to bite you, and it bit me. Les Muir once told me one of your old nicknames.
Garbage Head?
Yes.
Yeah, no.
Garbage Head.
Yeah.
Why does he call you Garbage Head?
Oh, probably something to do with my melon, I would presume. But nice. That's okay. I used to call him a lot worse, particularly when we were full.
So what was your first front page?
First front page, I'm just trying to remember what the actual intro was. Police are investigating claims that teenage members of their police boys clubs are being fed anabolic steroids, the dangerous bodybuilding drug, the blah, blah, blah. So it's, so it turned out 14, 15-year-old kids back in the late 70s were getting their steroids there.
Good young.
At a bloody police boys club.
That's outrageous.
Made it became, a current affair, and all those shows took it up, and the newspaper campaigned it, and it led to enormous change in police boys clubs.
Wow.
It really did at the time. And I remember I was a copy boy at the time, and we had a news tip phone, and everyone used to ring up, and I just grabbed the phone. I said, stuff it. I won't give it to a journal. I'll chase it myself. And, got a front page out of it.
Buzz, that's fantastic.
What was your first?
Well, see, as I said last week, so I started as a cadet in Maitland, but I did an internship at the Sun Herald in my late teens when I was at uni, and I covered the federal election when John Howard got. So I've had joint bylines on front pages. I had another one I had was when Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman came to town for Antonio's wedding to Angus Hawley. So I was with Ros Raines on that story.
Oh, were you?
And another one, it was good to see how Ros operated from close range. And the other one that I don't think this is a front page, but I won an award for it, was about child porn being distributed in a Sydney letterboxes.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I think that was just a puff. But my first as a cadet in Maitland was I was in the only journo in the office late on a Thursday night, and there was an armed robbery in East Maitland. So me and the photographer, toddled off. I was nervous as shit, like just about having to interview like someone who'd been held up at a milk bar and the coppers, and that was came back and bashed out the story and front page story. That
sort of thing, it was great training.
Well, 100%. I'm so glad I started in the country because you had to do everything. And it just gave you a great grounding in all these different, areas of journalism. You had to do courts, you had to do police, you had to do sport, you had to do education, you had to do health, you had to do, death knocks, the whole bit.
I was desperate to write rugby league. They said, you're not going to sport. And they sent me down to cover courts. I had to go and cover court cases for 3 months. Then they sent me to Parliament. Then they put me on police rounds. And the senior journos, I was just learning the skill of not just getting your facts and writing it and
how they operate.
And and the contacts they made. And
that's what you learn from the older
really, without that training,
But Buzz, without pissing in your pocket, I've learned stuff from you. How you when I was a younger journo on the telly, how it happened. I used to get it when I used to sit next to Mike Cockrell at the Herald, the old soccer writer who's no longer with us. And I remember one day there, Cockrell was like thundering away on the phone at someone. You're going to give me this effing quote, and, just really strong on what he wanted. And he got off. And I said, "Who was that?" And he said, "Frank Lowy."
Oh, really?
So that's how you learn.
Yeah. I got to Frank Lowy once. It was one of the favourite interviews I've ever done.
Yeah.
And he kicked Clive Palmer out of the A-League.
That's right.
And then, Palmer versus Lowy. It was heavyweight stuff.
I know who'd win that.
Yes.
All right.
There you go, mate.
There we go. One more to go. Fearless forecasts.
Can you start? Because I don't have one. I haven't thought that far ahead.
Sorry.
Can I use it to give someone a rap? I'm going to use my fearless forecast to give someone a rap. Like a saint.
Like a champ.
Last night on NRL 360.
You're going in wild and wonderful areas today.
Did you see the Happy Gilmore try celebration Victor Radley did?
I did. Fantastic.
And he put his head into the camera and he shook it. I spoke to the camera. He nearly knocked his camera over. Would have cost him thousands. Anyway, so during the look-in, the ad break, the director said to me to do a Victor Radley run at the camera. So I've made a complete goose of myself. I've run out at Happy Gilmore. So you know what Sportsbet have done?
What?
And I want to give them a rap here. They have donated another $10,000, not $5,000, which they do for to their charities, which is just a wonderful thing for the bookmaker to do.
Absolutely.
Just off the back of what we did in 360.
That's a great story.
Yeah.
I like it. I'm going to
what's your forecast?
I'm going to tell you some money that you should invest with Sportsbet. Tim Tszyu faces Sebastian Fundora at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas. I shudder just even saying the words Las Vegas. In their rematch after Fundora beat him last year. I think Tszyu will win, but Fundora is such an awkward fighter, as we saw in the first fight. It'll go the distance. Tim 350 by decision.
By decision. Wow.
He's shorted to knock him out, but I just think it might be.
Yeah, he is an awkward, isn't he, Fundora?
Very big and sort of.
He whacked him with his elbow last time, didn't he?
He did.
To cut him open. I hope Tim Tszyu wins. I really do.
Yeah.
I think he's a great fighter. It'll be fantastic to see Pacquiao.
Exactly.
As well. And then we got Gal and Sonny Bill.
We do.
We got Gal and Sonny Bill. You going to pay your $70?
I've paid it.
Have you? You're set up ready to go.
After we did the Gal interview last week.
Yeah, right.
And I've written some about it in the Oz Tomorrow, in the Australian Tomorrow.
Have you?
Yes.
Yeah, right. Oh, good on you.
That's called what is it? Rehashing your quotes.
Yeah, I'm rather than just the fight, I'm looking forward to seeing the aftermath.
Well, they both said they're not going to shake each other's hands.
Yeah, but they're saying that now.
I want to say this, Buzz. Until we had Gal on last week, he was just as fired up off camera that he was. More. He was, and you can tell they do not like each other.
No.
Anyway, but I like you, Phil.
Oh, thanks, Andrew. Feelings are bloody mutual, pal.
Really?
Yeah.
Sometimes I wonder.
Yeah, these double headers you're doing, checker, then.
Oh, no, it's a lot of work for the host.
Yeah.
I'd like someone to
any sponsor out there might actually get paid to do it just once.
Hey, listen, thanks everyone for listening to that. That was a bit of gibber today. That was about 50% gibber.
Yeah.
But it was quality gibber.
Yes, absolutely.
You can follow us on all the socials. You can watch us on YouTube. You can listen to us on Spotify and Apple. And we will we will catch you next week. But in the meantime, make sure you look at the Michael Checker podcast that'll drop in a couple of days because it was pretty fascinating from the big fella.
On your Webby.
Thanks,
See you
Buzz.
next week.
See you guys.